Good morning, grade fours. We are going to be starting today the fourth stall. I decided that the um, the novel that we were going to do originally, which is a great novel, Hatchet, is probably a little too intense. There's some scary parts, and I thought maybe it was a little too intense for a distance learning sort of novel read. But this one is more of a funny book. It's got some sort of mystery, and it's entertaining, and I think you're going to really like it. Anyway, this is the first chapter of the fourth stall. You need something? I can get it for you. You have a problem? I can solve it. That's why they come to me. By they, I mean every kid in school, first graders up to eighth graders. Everyone comes to me for help, and most of the time, I'm happy to provide it, for a small fee, of course. My office is located in the East Wing, boys' bathroom, fourth stall from the high window. My office hours are during early recess, lunch, and afternoon recess. Sometimes I do pro bono work. I don't know why free is called pro bono, but it is. If your situation seems important enough, I just may offer my services without the usual fees for money or favors. But that doesn't happen too often. When it does, it's usually because Vince asks me to. Vince is my best friend and right-hand man. He is a good guy in addition to being awesome with numbers. He's also the most book smart kid I know and the best business manager a guy could have. We started this business together, so when he gives me one of those looks that only I know that says, "Hey Mac, you should cut this kid a break and do this one pro bono." I listen to him. I know you shouldn't mix your business and personal life, but we run a tight operation and have been friends since kindergarten. My real name is Christian Barrett, but everyone calls me Mac. Mac is short for MacGyver. This eighth grader, Billy Brenson, called me that once and it stuck. Now it's just Mac because people are lazy. Right now, you might be wondering how a little blue-eyed sixth grader with shaggy dark brown hair could end up with a business like this, and I don't blame you. I can hardly believe it myself sometimes. It's actually a pretty long story that probably is best left for later, so for now, let's just say it involves an old trailer park, playground, a vampire, and one angry fourth grader, and we'll leave it at that. Anyways, I mostly handle easy stuff like getting kids tests answers or forged hall passes and doctor's notes or video games that their parents won't let them play, but every once in a while something tough comes my way, like my last client on this particular Monday. He was one of the most difficult problems I ever faced. I was sitting behind my desk in the fourth stall from the high window. Maybe I should stop here to explain how we fit my desk into the stall. A lot of kids will tell you that the toilet was cleared out years ago due to a huge accident. They say some joker tried to flush a whole box of black cats and four cherry bombs down the toilet. Supposedly, the porcelain shards exploded everywhere and severed his arm, and now he has a hook for a hand and lives in some special institution for kids who think they're pirates. I know the truth, though, because I have connections that other kids don't. The toilet was removed when some kid figured out Principal Dickerson's bathroom schedule. Apparently, old people use the bathroom at the same time every day, and this kid, Jimmy Snickers, found out that Principal Dickerson used the fourth floor stall from the high window in the East Wing bathroom every single day at 12:02. Always. Why did he use that exact toilet? Maybe it was because the fourth stall from the high window was the biggest stall in the bathroom and had handrails that he needed to use because he was so old. I have really no idea. I know a lot of stuff about this school, but some things are just a mystery and are meant to stay that way. Anyways, one day during morning recess, Jimmy brought 6 bottles of industrial superglue to the fourth stall from the high window. Now, Jimmy was a pretty clever kid, so he knew that simply supergluing Dickerson's butt cheeks to the seat was not enough, because the seat could easily be removed with just a simple wrench. Instead, he lathered up not only the seat, but also the screws and joints holding the seat to the toilet bowl itself. The concoction of glue he created, combined with years of build-up pee and rust and gunk, bonded together like the most stinky, sticky cement ever invented. Principal Dickerson wasn't going anywhere. Dickerson didn't yell for help because it would have been embarrassing to be found by a student, but instead he waited and waited and waited. Eventually, the janitor found him at 5 o'clock that evening. Even though at that point Dickerson was really hungry from missing lunch, at least he was able to use the bathroom. They had to call in plumbers to remove the entire toilet and ship both Dickerson and his new porcelain shorts to the hospital, where doctors were able to surgically separate the two. Dickerson never ordered a new toilet because the process of doing so would just bring unwanted attention to the whole embarrassing ordeal. That and the school had spent most of its money that year buying these cool Nike uniforms and tracksuits for all the sports teams. Then by the following year, the kids and the teachers probably just forgot all about the missing toilet, which was fine with Dickerson. So the fourth stall from the high window remained toiletless and became the perfect place for my office, mostly because it was in the furthest reaches of the school's east wing where there was no classrooms except for a rarely used band room. The bathroom was also secure and private due to an arrangement I had with the school janitor. In fact, he had even given me a key so I could lock up the bathroom during non business hours to keep kids from coming in and messing with my stuff. Maybe I'll get into that arrangement more later on, but for now, I should probably get back to the story at hand. So, where was I anyway? Oh, yeah, Monday. It was lunchtime. I was sitting behind the desk my crew had installed in the fourth stall. Business had been a little slower than usual the past couple of days, but otherwise, it had just been another normal day at the office up to that point. Joe, my strongman, stood outside the bathroom, forming lines and regulating the flow of kids. Only one customer was allowed inside the bathroom at any given time. Joe also kept out any unwanted company. He was an eighth grader, the biggest kid at school. He towered over the other students like an NBA player at a midget convention. No one messed with Joe, not even me, but he was loyal and I compensated him well. Joe ushered in kid after kid. First come, first serve. Vince was the only person other than me and the client allowed to be inside the bathroom when we were seeing customers. He usually stood outside my office where he patted the kids down and checked for recording devices, stink bombs, and other undesirables. The second to last client of that afternoon was a big football player named Robert Hovenschlend. He looked funny sitting in the small plastic chair in a cramped stall. His huge knees were almost level with his shoulders. I had a good feeling about this kid right away, probably because he was wearing a Chicago Cubs jersey. What can I do for you, Robert? I asked. Need more playing time? Less playing time? A girlfriend? Help breaking up with a girlfriend? No, not exactly, he said. It has to do with a girl, though, all right. He nodded, and I thought I saw him blush a little bit. I want to take a girl to that new movie, Idiots Doing Stupid Stunts, but I don't know how to get us in. It's rated R. My dad's a cop, and he's obsessed with this whole the law is the law thing, so he won't go for it. Anyways, I already told her I could get us in. So I'm just wondering if you could help me somehow. I don't want her to think I'm a liar. I think I can help you, Robert. When were you two planning on going? I asked. Well, I invited her to go Saturday night, this Saturday. I need a few moments, please, I said. I saw him shift uncomfortably in the chair as I looked through my books. My books were a few notebooks that I used to keep records of customers and their requests, such as who owed me favors and other stuff like that. I also kept a record of all my connections, like people who could get me stuff and that most kids didn't have access to, such as Vince's older brother, Victor. We used him to get us stuff that only 18-year-olds can buy. Vince kept his own books too, but his dealt more with how much money we had and who owed us money and other financial stuff like that. I checked my books for the problem at hand. I knew a guy at the theater who owed me a favor, but he didn't work on Saturday. I hope Robert could be flexible. Okay, Robert, here's the deal. I can get you two in, but not Saturday night. Do you think she'd agree to go Friday instead? Yeah, I think so, he said as he scratched the back of his head. Good. Just tell her you have to babysit your little brother or something on Saturday. That usually works. Look for a cashier named Derek. He's tall and has short dark hair. He'll be expecting you. Sound good? Yeah, except I don't have any little brothers or sisters, so I don't know what. Robert, use your imagination. Tell her you have to go out for your mom's birthday on Saturday or something. It's okay. Everybody tells a harmless lie once in a while, right? He hesitated. I could tell that he was a good guy because he seemed to be such a terrible liar. Yeah, okay, I can do that. What do I owe you? He finally said. Tell you what, I didn't fix your problem perfectly. Plus, you're a Cubs fan, so we'll do it at a discount. How does $5 and a small favor sound? A favor? He asked. Yeah, there may be a time when I need your help with something. Don't worry, it won't be anything huge. I'm not going to ask you for your kidney or anything like that. Robert chuckled, but he sounded a little nervous. Sure, sounds good. All right, just bring me the money by any time this week. Actually, I have it now. There was absolutely no doubt left that this was definitely a good kid. I loved it when customers paid up front. A quick I quick wrote a note down in my books that Robert was someone to potentially employ in the future. His size could come in handy at some point. Great. Give it to Vince before you leave, and just be ready if I ever need a favor. Thanks, Robert. Okay, Mac, thanks, he said, and then squeezed out of the stall. I sat calmly and waited for the next client, not even suspecting for a second that he would be the biggest problem that ever stepped into my office.